I'm going to give you the names of the obstructionists to the counting of the Electoral College votes. And mind you, let me say it again and repeat, the grounds under which they were arguing for the stopping of the voting of the Electoral College in both chambers of the Senate and the House by Vice President Mike Pence had no grounds, in fact. Their arguments were for two states, Arizona and Pennsylvania. Their argument was that it is unconstitutional that in the state of Pennsylvania, votes by mail, ballots by mail was introduced. It was against their constitution. Let me just make it abundantly clear so you guys will understand that it was a Republican group of lawmakers in their legislature who came together and unanimously agreed. They presented it forward and they agreed on elections through mail-in ballots, so that they had no problem with that for over a year, because this was put in enactment in 2019. And now, after they have lost the election, it is a problem. In the state of Arizona, the legal case that they speak of is the fact that because COVID-19 came into existence, the state of Arizona put in place legislature to allow mail-in ballot voting and extended the deadline for mail-in ballot voting. This was the problem. They said that it was not debated in the Senate floor of their given state, but it was enacted after being carried to the courts. But we all know the courts are also a wing and arm of the legislature arm. And so they said that they circumvented the legislature in Arizona to allow for this to happen. And it was not debated upon. This is their argument, which is still flawed. It is not the problem or issue that it was debated on, because there was not time to debate it, as the situation was brought up because of COVID-19. And it was carried through legal means and implemented, though through a court of law to validate it. This is, in essence, what they are complaining about. It has no grounds whatsoever in an illegal route of doing things. Now, they tried to use partisanship in it, in saying that the judge in Arizona was appointed by Barack Obama. But we have seen the judges appointed by Donald Trump still carry out their duties and have come to the similar conclusions as the judge from Arizona in dismissing their case. As such, the judge said that you came at a very late hour. You should have done these things before the election. And now you have come too late to present these issues after the election has already occurred. Because if you had an issue with this, you should have come before the election happened. By not presenting this issue before the courts, you have been complicit to agreeing with it. And now it is too late to reverse that. It's a very similar case that happened in Georgia, where Georgians realized that some of their voters had been removed from off of the registered voters list. Illegally so. However, this issue could only be addressed after the elections because they presented it to the courts too late. Therefore, if these congressmen and senators truly take issue with this case, they should address it after the election results have been ratified, and not before, and not while they are now being ratified. This was never the venue for that. As in where they want to debate the constitutionality of what has happened in Pennsylvania. That is for them to debate after the elections. There is a venue for someone to debate an issue. This was not it. And they were well within their legal means to implement what they did for their elections. So, having said that, let us go into these people who know this because most of them know the law. And we will go through each of them by name and who they represent. And at some later time, I will go in detail about each and every one of them. But as of now, I want you to mark these people because these people were very much cognizant of what went down. And they are playing politics. No matter how passionate they are playing politics with it. Let's begin. So these lawmakers, they voted on objections to the electoral vote counts. 6 senators supported the objection to counting the electoral vote and having Arizona's electoral votes counted. And 7 senators, all Republican, also supported the objection to counting Pennsylvania's electoral votes. In the House, the numbers for Arizona were 121, and in the Senate, in the House, it was 121 for Arizona and 138 for Pennsylvania. Let's go through now the list of names, because the names are what the most important thing, right? Let's go through them. The first one leading the charge is Senator Ted Cruz from Texas, Senator Josh Hawley from Missouri, Senator Cindy Hyde Smith, who comes from Mississippi. These are senators of these different states. Senator John Neely Kennedy of Louisiana, Senator Cynthia Lummis of Wyoming, Senator Roger Marshall from Kansas, Senator Rick Scott from Florida, and Senator Tommy Tuberville from Alabama. These are the senators who supported the blocking of the count of electoral votes, particularly from the states of Pennsylvania and the state of Arizona. I want you to mark these people and make sure that their political careers are over. Maybe they'll resign before their terms are over, but mark them. Now I hear people say, well, people haven't been informed and nobody has ever addressed these issues. This has been addressed over and over and over again. I have gone to channels where legal lawyers have been speaking on these issues. I have gone to channels where I have listened to congressional people and people who were ex-senators and ex-congressmen speak on these issues. I did my homework. I'm not just speaking out of the crux of my ignorance, like a lot of other people who are being persuaded and tricked into believing nonsense. We now go to the House and Congress. Representative Robert B. Alderholt of Alabama. Representative Rick Allen from Georgia. Representative Jody Arrington from Texas. Representative Brian Babin from Texas. Representative Jim Beard from Indianapolis. Representative Jim Banks from Indianapolis. Representative Clip Benz from Oregon. Representative Jack Bergman from Michigan. Representative Stephanie Bice from Oklahoma. Representative Andy Biggs from Arizona. Representative Dan Bishop from North Carolina. Representative Lauren Boebert from Colorado. Representative Mike Bost from, from Illinois. Representative Mo Brooks from Alabama. Representative Ted Budd from North Carolina. Representative Tim Burchett from Tennessee. Representative Michael C. Burgess from Texas. Representative Ken Calvert from California. Representative Kat Kamak from Florida. Representative Jerry Carl from Alabama. Representative Earl L. Buddy Carter from Georgia. Representative John Carter from Texas. Representative Madison Cawthorn from North Carolina. Representative Steve Chabert from Ohio. Representative Ben Klein from Virginia. Representative Michael Cloud from Texas. Representative Andrew Clyde from Georgia. Representative Tom Cole from Oklahoma. Representative Eric A. Rick Crawford from Arizona. Or is that Arkansas? Sorry, Arkansas. That's Arkansas. Representative Warner Davidson from Ohio. Representative Scott Jarlet from Texas. I believe that's French. Des Jarlet. Representative Mario Diaz Barlat from Florida. Representative Byron Donalds from Florida. Representative Jeff Duncan from South Carolina. Representative Neil Dunn from Florida. Representative Ron Estes from Kansas. Representative Pat Fallon from Texas. Representative Michelle Fishbach from Minnesota. Representative Scott Fitzgerald from Wisconsin. Representative Charles J. Chuck Fleischman from Tennessee. Representative Virginia Fox from North Carolina. Representative Scott Franklin from Florida. Representative Russ Fulker from Idaho. Representative Matt Gaetz from Florida. We all know who Matt Gaetz is. Representative Mike Garcia from California. Representative Bob Gibbs from Ohio. Representative Carlos Jimenez from Florida. Representative Louis Gohmert from Texas. Representative Bob Good from Virginia. Representative Lance Gooden from Texas. Representative Paul A. Gozer from Arizona. Representative Garrett Graves from Louisiana. Representative Sam Graves from Missouri. Representative Mark Green from Tennessee. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene from Georgia. Representative Morgan Griffith from Virginia. Representative Michael Guest from Mississippi. Representative Jim Hagedorn or Hagedorn from Minneapolis. Representative Andy Harris from Maryland. Representative Diana Hashberger from Tennessee. Representative Vicky Hartzler from Missouri. Representative Kevin Hearn from Oklahoma. Representative Yvette Herron from New Mexico. This is New Mexico, NM. Representative Jody Heiss from Georgia. Representative Clay Higgins from Louisiana. Representative Richard Hudson from North Carolina. Representative Darrell Issa from California. Representative Ronnie Jackson from Texas. Representative Chris Jacobs from New York. Representative Mike Johnson from Louisiana. Representative Bill Johnson from Ohio. Representative Jim Jordan from Ohio. Representative John Joyce from Pennsylvania. Representative Fred Keller from Pennsylvania. Representative Trent Kelly from Mississippi. Representative Mike Kelly from Pennsylvania. Representative David Kustoff from Tennessee. Representative Doug LaMalfa from California. Representative Doug Lamorne from Colorado. Representative Jake LaTurner from Kansas. Representative Debbie Lesko from Arizona. Representative Billy Long from Missouri. Representative Billy Loudermilk from Georgia. Representative Frank D. Lucas from Oklahoma. Representative Blaine Lute Kelmea from Missouri. Representative Nicole Miliotakis from New York City. Representative Tracy Mann from Kansas. Representative Brian Mast from Florida. Representative Kevin McCarthy from California. Mr. McCarthyism. He is the leader of the Republican Party, or the minority in Congress. Representative Lisa McClain from Michigan. Representative Dan Muser from Pennsylvania. Representative Mary Miller from Illinois. Representative Carol Miller from, I forgot what that is. That is West Virginia. Representative Alex Moody from West Virginia. Representative Barry Moore from Alabama. Representative Mark Wayne Mullen from Oklahoma. Representative Gregory Murphy from North Carolina. Representative Troy Nels from Texas. Representative Ralph Norman from South Carolina. Representative Devin Nunes from California. Representative Jay Arbanolte from California. Representative Burgess Owens from Utah. Representative Stephen M. Palazzo from Mississippi. Representative Gary Palmer from Alabama. Representative Greg Pence from Indiana. Well, it's Indianapolis. Sorry, my bad. Representative Scott Perry from Pennsylvania. Representative August Pfluger from Texas. Representative Bill Posey from Florida. Representative Guy Reschenthaler from Pennsylvania. Representative Tom Rice from South Carolina. Representative Mike D. Rogers from Alabama. Representative Harold Rogers from Kentucky. Representative John Rose from Tennessee. Representative Matt Rosendale from I'm not too sure, Montana. Representative David Roser from North Carolina. Representative John Rutherford from California. Representative Steve Scalise from Louisiana. Representative David Switchert from Arizona. Representative Pete Sessions from Texas. Representative Jason T. Smith from Missouri. Representative Adrian Smith from New England. Representative Lloyd Smucker from Pennsylvania, Representative Elise Stefanik from New York, Representative Greg Stu from Florida, Representative Chris Stewart from Utah, Representative Glenn Thompson from Pennsylvania, Representative Tom Tiffany from Wisconsin, Representative William Timmons from South Carolina, Representative Jeff Van Drew from New Jersey, Representative Beth Van Duyn, or Beth Van Dwayne or Dooney from Texas, Representative Tim Wahlberg from Michigan, Representative Jackie Walorski from Indianapolis. Is it Indianapolis? Minneapolis. No, this is Indiana. I've been calling Indianapolis Indiana. That's Indiana, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. Representative Randy Weber from Texas, Representative Daniel Webster from Florida, Representative Roger Williams from Texas, Representative Joe Wilson from South Carolina, Representative Rob Whitman from Virginia, Representative Ron Wright from Texas, and Representative Lee Zeldin from New York. Okay? These are the names of the people who objected to the counting of electoral votes because they didn't want either the electoral votes of Pennsylvania or Arizona to be counted, based on disputable constitutional claims that they have, which the first one, which has to do with Pennsylvania, is not debatable because they all agreed on it. So they're very hypocritical, those who are in Pennsylvania, because it was unanimously agreed upon. And the one in Arizona was well within the legal rights and legal framework for the people to implement what it was, and it could be debated on later. But given the situation, they had to make an adjustment. And it was well within their legal rights to do so, and therefore the appellate courts and the other courts, including the Supreme Courts, throughout such a protest. And they keep on repeating the same thing over and over. And there's nothing wrong with what happened. So, these are the people. I wanted you to hear their names as I call them out. You can always go back and look for them any old time because, there's a digital record of them all over the internet. But I wanted to call their names out. I wanted you to hear their names. I want you to hear the sound of their names. I wanted you to know that these people deliberately, because most of them are legal minds, deliberately tried to misinform the public and carry to the fore something that was fraudulent, dishonest, and they know it. And just because the members of the public have been preached lies nonstop about the election, as President Joe Biden has said, repetition, they kept on repeating the same rubbish. And these people came with these fallacious claims into Congress and the Senate, knowing full damn well that they are fallacious claims, and tried to force a vote on the Senate and the congressional floor, which was voted on, to somehow, some way, push this agenda that something was wrong with the election, when nothing was wrong with the election. And we all know this. It's Donald Trump who's been speaking this, and they've been searching and digging and heaping and hoeing and hogging, looking for something. And now their names are etched in history. You can always pull up the archives and know who was for democracy and who was playing political games with democracy. And I want you to remember their names because they tried to have political careers, and some of these guys, their political careers are cut short. So I want you to hear their names, and I want you to go look them up as well. Spend the time and look them up. And mark them. Mark every single last one of them. And some of them even boasted that they brought Trump supporters to the Capitol building. They boasted about this. Look what the supporters you brought did. Their blood's on your hands now. That's all I got to say for now. I'm what you need. Have a very good day.